So Jim, tell me your story, what you've done.
Yeah, so I've been so blessed. I had great aspirations of being a soccer player early on. So I traveled around the world trying to play soccer, trying to make that a living. I basically made ramen, noodle, and baguette money when I was in France and could not make it to that next level. So I stopped that and went down a finance path. I was actually working for Morgan Stanley in the World Trade Center in January, April, and March of 2001 before I just felt called to leave that. And my parents were going to kill me, and because I had this great job and they were going to kill me. And I came back to St. Louis, Missouri to play soccer. It fell through again, and I went from working in the World Trade Center to working at Blockbuster. If anybody's from St. Louis, across from Galleria, back in 2001, and then obviously the events of 9/11 happened. Just crazy.
You brought up that 2001, the World Trade Center, and you were there. So you had friends in that building that died?
You know, we were in the second building to get hit, so very few friends died. Several did. Thank goodness, most of the people were able to get out. But yeah, it was pretty tough.
So you're emotionally, when you saw the thing, you were like, your heart dropped.
Heart dropped. Couldn't obviously get a hold of people via phone. There were cell phones in that time, but they just weren't as prevalent. And there was just days of waiting, right, to hear what had happened. That was probably the most frustrating part.
Wow. Okay. Sorry, I just had to ask you a question about that.
No, thank you. Started in hospital finance here in St. Louis and became a hospital CFO at 28 years old. So I started as an accountant and rose to a hospital CFO at 28 by 2005. So pretty quick progression there. And then began to work around the world, focusing on outsourcing and insourcing for hospitals and health systems from, again, all parts of the world for a process called revenue cycle management. How hospitals manage the claims that they send back and forth between insurance companies. And my career just took off. And then finally, I worked for a G company from 2012 to 2019. And in that period of time, it went beyond hospitals to all organizations. What I led was a group of people that sold outsourcing primarily from India, the Philippines, China, and Eastern Europe to CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, United Healthcare, all of these. And in fact, before I kind of said goodbye to that part of my career, at the end, we sold a $1 billion deal. It was just incredible. So when it comes to some of the things you're starting to talk to me about, I have a passion about it. I have a belief in the work ethic and the way that it can help people's lives here in the United States, because I've lived it and seen that for the last 13, 14 years.
This is amazing. We hit the billion. This conversation is getting better. Keep going.
So my life's going great, but my family's falling apart. And at that point, in terms of my job was doing really well, and I was spending too many times on airplanes and things like that. And my wife and I got together and we said, you know, why don't you take a step back right now from healthcare? And so in August of 2019, I left that to focus on real estate here in St. Louis, Missouri. And then COVID happens. And it obviously, there's lots of different elements to that, good and bad. But one of the things is we saw such an explosion of real estate. And so I really began to double down on that. And that went really well. And then there was the final piece of the soccer dream. You go back to the first thing I told you, the soccer dream that died out. I got asked by the local MLS team to come and support these players by being a life coach, a performance coach, and a Christian chaplain to them. And so today, what my life looks like is I work in real estate. I'm not a real estate agent. I work with many people in that field. And then I also support our local professional soccer team. And that's my story.
Wow. Okay. So we met a year ago. Let's say a little less than a year. We had a cup of coffee and we talked, became good friends. Oh, when I know about you, you're a good church man. Pastor?
Like I'm an elder leader in our church.
Okay. You're involved with your church. You like to help people. I knew about your working with the soccer life coach, and I'm sure you've done spiritual coach as well. I'm glad. But that's it. But I didn't know about the other thing. I'm like, wow, this guy did a lot. You worked in France and Europe?
Played soccer in Canada, Vancouver, Trinidad, and then on the healthcare side, traveled all over the world.
So how did you go on your expenses to work there to play soccer, or someone sent you there, like the team here?
Yeah, so there was a connection here in football and soccer, depending on where you're from. You go on trial. They see if you're a good fit. So I went on trial for 4 months there in France, and the World Cup was in France in '98. It was an incredible experience.
Okay, so you are a soccer player.
Yes, but many years ago. My wife is a very good cook, so you couldn't tell it now.
No, I can tell. I always knew that you're a sport man, but I don't know how serious you were. I mean, going overseas, going to Europe, Trinidad, you're willing to go anywhere, right?
Yep.
You used to go to Trinidad, an American guy, to go to Trinidad. Please, I want to play soccer. That means you really want to play. You're the passion. We're willing to do what it takes.
And Trinidad was a fascinating experience because, there's a fair amount of poverty there as well. You see it like in some amazing players. I mean, it was a great experience.
Absolutely, man. That's when I hear people like they're living here. Let's say, for example, they're going to like a war area or a poor area. And I know where they're coming from Queens, from New York, from somewhere here. Rich families, they leave their family and they go help. They're very passionate to help people. I mean, you don't have to be very, very rich, but no matter where you live here in America, better than these war zones and no water and they get sick. Some of them almost died from food, but they're willing to do whatever it takes to get their passion going, to get their work going and helping others. Admire what you did, man. I didn't know about this species. Now I know. So let me answer this. Since you brought up the outsourcing, I want to hear what you have, because since you start telling me what you have, I want to tell you what I have, because I'm going to ask you for help in some stuff. So go ahead and tell me.
So the one thing that came to mind about you was in my work now in St. Louis, real estate and in soccer, there's a fair amount of immigrant population here. And I have a young man, he's in his 30s. I've been working with him for years. He's Nigerian and has a passion about empowering the people of Nigeria. And so we're having a discussion about it. And he was kind of going down an import-export piece. His name is Yomi. I said, Yomi, why are you not thinking about the people capital? You've got an English capability there, right? You got varying degrees of education, but why are you not thinking about empowering them through various types of work, be it call-enabled or non-call-enabled, to be essentially virtual assistants? And I said, I have the perfect guy who knows this business in and out, and I have to connect you with him. And that's why I wanted to reach out.
Listen, there is always something can be done. He's living here.
He's living here. He spends a lot of time in South St. Louis, and so he could meet us at that bread co. whenever we want.
You set up the time, and one morning we can meet, afternoon, one evening.
Okay.
So I can meet you guys there for lunch. I can meet you after work. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to hear his story. I like to help people. Let's hear his story and we go. Second thing I want to tell you is you are in the real estate. You're in the medical. By the way, we hired a recruiter. She worked in another agency like us to recruit and work for the medical. They have their own little world.
Yeah.
Like the VAs for the marketing, the VAs for the sales, the VAs for the cold call. I guess they have their own little groups. So we have one, and I'm talking actually to a couple of people, doctors. I got a dermatologist. I met him in Miami. It's funny. It was a church function. So one of the guys said, hey, man, I'm coming to Miami. He said, I'm landing Sunday morning. Let's meet for a cup of coffee. He's Lebanese. He said, I have a function in my church. We're having some food. I said, where is it? I'm coming. So I'm up there. I met great people, man. I met this doctors, lawyers, I met people, and I started making friends. So this guy was asking me, what's Upland? Because I had the hat. I said, marketing agency, and we do virtual assistant call centers, and we help small businesses. He said, oh, I have 2 VAs. I'm looking for more. I have 16. And he told me about his business. He's a dermatologist. So I talked to my team, and we're helping him to take care of what he needs. But if you know anybody, doctors, dentists, anyone, you know what they do? They call to their older people. They don't want to text messages and email reminder. They want to call.
Yeah.
And that's what I told everybody. I tell them, listen, you worked with hospitals. These phone calls are $150, $500, $600 billing. I mean, if you lose that client, you could be losing thousands. So I told them that's why they need to call them and remind them. A phone call to remind them for their appointment. You don't need to have a body sitting at the desk, just calling 30, 40 clients. We can do this virtually. That's a VA job. You can have someone posting on social media, doing all these things. Put it this way, all work. You've seen my Instagram. I'm always talking about this. I said, all these jobs can be handled virtually. I don't need you to be here. By the way, I wish I could show you my office. We could fit 50 people in this building. We have only set, but we have 60 overseas doing all the work. I'll be honest with you. I love my team. I love them to death. But sometimes when they're working away from me and I'm working away from them, we get things done more because I empower them to make decisions.
Yeah.
This is my style. And someone asked me, I want to do this, blah, blah, blah. He tell me all the story. And I'm like, I'm listening. He said, what do you want me to do? I said, tell me, what do you think we should? Well, I don't think we need to do. You answered. What your mind telling you was right. Go out and do it. I make them make the decision. So when they keep asking me, I keep telling them, what do you think we should? When they say, I don't know, it's scary. Like this client demanding a free ship. What do you think we should? Well, he's a good customer. He's always ordering and ordering. I said, okay, if you give him the free shipping, what he's going to expect? He's going to say free shipping. Are we making money when he makes small orders? He said, no. I said, okay, why don't you give him free shipping with a minimum order? So at least we made money and we're giving him. Fair enough. So next time you know what to do. So I take every question. They learn, they're very thankful, and they always appreciate us. So the reason I'm telling you this thing is I'm creating the program for the VAs. If you know anybody, I mean, I can talk to the young man.
You know, the more I've thought about it in the last 24 hours, I'm actually very excited about the real estate space and what the VAs could do. It could be massive. Anyone doing it well to the extent that it could with your expertise and my expertise combined.
And let me tell you why I am better than ever. Today, a guy asked me, he said, why are you a little bit more expensive? I said, I'm not expensive. I'll tell you why. Brother, if you're looking for a 99-cent burger, then you go to McDonald's. I guarantee you, within 1 year, you're going to have a heart attack. If you keep eating McDonald's every day, I don't even think you're going to last a year.
Yeah.
So I told them, we're not the 99 burgers VAs. I'll tell you right now. Because we don't throw them on you and leave you and walk away. Like a lot of agencies, when you ask them a question and you say, when can they start? Oh, they can start as early as tomorrow. No, don't go with these people because this guy's going to pull a VA out of a box and just throw it on.
Yeah.
They didn't ask you what's your needs. They didn't say, tell me a little about your business. Tell me day to day, what exactly. And because I have guys call me and they wanted 4 or 5, I told them to start with 2 because it sounds like you can delegate all these things. And if you see too much more, come here. And I had a guy told me and he wanted 1. And I told him, you want 5, you want a team. They cannot post for you, make calls, answer your emails. You want to slave the guy? It's not going to work like this. He's going to quit. I said, give them enough work to keep them busy, but don't overload them because it's too much. So give them enough, and that's what we do. On top of this, we provide a VPN. Since you've traveled all over the world, that's part of the package we provided for the client. If you need a VA, we'll give you the screen monitoring system so you can see what they're doing. We'll give your VA a VPN so they can log into US so they can do the work that you hired them. Because you're like, why they're not doing their work? They're scared to tell you, I can't log in. They'll be scared to tell their boss. So we know these things. We cover these things. We provide them with all Workana. It's a dashboard that you, as the business owner in the US, assign them jobs to do, assign them the work to do. Like, for example, you woke up this morning early and you have, for example, Lisa. Hey, Lisa, please make sure to call, blah, blah, blah. So you're communicating with them. We connected their WhatsApp. We give them access to your social media accounts through a secure system. So if you ever let them go, the password is secured. We secure. We make sure that you are protected. My partner in this business, he is system free. Thank God. He is amazing. Me, I'm good at sales. I'm good at breaking down things. I'm good at motivating people. See why you're not making money, why your team is not making the sales that you hired them for. So we given this guy 5 VAs. Me and him were working on making sure that this is the right VAs. There's a client, we made the biggest deal at $175,000. So to tell you everything, we give people solution. We give them all the tools that we use in our marketing because we own our tools. So why should you go for things to do your marketing? Well, guess what? I'll give it to you for free. I don't want to charge you that $300 for these tools. You can have it.
Ahmed, how do you guys handle telephony? Do you have a dialer? Are they using their own phones there or voice over IP?
I use RingCentral. We use RingCentral in the company here. There's a lot of voice over. They start from $20 all the way to $50. It depends how much what do you want. You want to record their calls? You want to see how many calls they made? Yeah. That's the only piece. I leave it to the business owner. We give the VA's email address to communicate, but reality, the business owner needs to have access to that email because one day they let them go, they have that information. I educate people how to secure. I own a business. I don't want a VA come and rule my business. I want a VA. I bring them, and when they leave, everything goes smooth.
Here's something I'm really passionate about is seeing people optimize their life. And what I see in this real estate market right now is misery, is struggling. I feel like there are so many people who they believe fundamentally they have to work all day. They have to at night be able to jump on these small little micro processes that are repeatable, that are trainable, and they have to hold it and control it. And with that control and with that work life, I look at these people and they're very successful. They're making a lot of money, but they're miserable. And if they could just identify, these are the things that give me life. These are the things that get me up in the morning, that get me excited to do what I do, and take everything else and let's see how we compartmentalize it. And yeah, they won't trust it. They'll have to dip their toe in it, but slowly over time, they're going to build to 5 or 6 VAs, within 12 months because it's going to be so freeing for them. and they're going to be happier, and they're going to be more successful because the things that give them life, now they're going to be able to do more. And they're going to be in front of their clients, and they're going to be doing showings, and all the little back office stuff, which there's so much of it in real estate. You've bought houses yourself, you sold them. You can just see this, all that administrative items that just bog people down. So that's what I'm excited about.
Very excited. I want to show you another thing. Imagine you're the agent and you're listing 7. You have each one of them, there is about 4 or 5 showing weekly.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's open houses, sorry to interrupt, there's a lot more administration to it with the calls and the promotions and all that stuff.
Okay. You got 35 showing. Do you want to drive 35 times and half of them doesn't show up? Do you want to answer your text messaging and your inquiry on social media? Let me tell you this. They don't even answer their social media. You listed a house on social media and you're not answering, I could be the buyer. So you're losing the opportunities on social media. You're losing the opportunities on showing. Don't you want to call people and tell them, hey, are you coming at 4 o'clock today? Yeah. Okay. I'll see you there. The agent is waiting for you. Don't you want to call them when they're late? Like imagine you're sitting and you're waiting for the showing and he does show. And he drove 45 minutes. Some agents drive almost an hour. Just do all the showing. You want to maximize your time. Why are they not letting someone else do all this work for them? Answer their social media. Be nice to people. Call them and say, hey, you're coming tomorrow, right? And the next day you call them in the morning. I'll see you in an hour, right? Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to see you. That's a VA job. That's not an agent job. Yeah. I mean, the agent can do the job, but he's going to make himself life miserable like this. Inspection. Oh, this guy is buying the house. Well, we need to schedule an inspection. What it takes is an email and a paper or whatever form. Why do you need to do it? Let someone else get them the task and tell them, listen, for every house gets sold, I'll give you $50 more. Well, guess what? They will work day and night to make sure these houses. That's what you need. You have some more. So all these things, small tasks, let them do it. Oh, another thing. Can you imagine you and I were on vacation with you and your family and we're real estate agents and we're sitting in the boat looking at our text messages, how many text messages we get, how many inquiries. Let someone else do it, man. Go enjoy your vacation, isn't it? They don't even enjoy their vacations. I said, why are they sitting in the boat? I need to push them off the boat. Get out of here. They're on their phone. Oh, yeah, the home. Oh, I'll make sure up. We got you, man. Okay, we'll email you the contract.
Yep.
So what is this here? Is this vacation or is this work on a boat with your swimming suit? So I feel bad for them. And I wasn't in the VA business. I don't know what the solution they have. Now I do. So let's get together. Let's do it. And I want to show you the money behind it and how much money we can make. There is a lot of work. And you are at the right place with the industry. So they trust you.
All right, let's get it on the calendar. When do you want to meet?
You're welcome to come to my office or I'll come to your office.
Yeah, let's meet at your office. I can bring coffees or snacks or whatever, and we'll have a good session. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much. And let me know when I can meet Yoni, and we'll make it happen.
Will do. All right, sir. Thank you. Take care.
Take care. Bye.